Hi again, my name is Kurt D. Murray, and as I mentioned in parts 1 and 2, I recently self-published a book entitled Higher Ground, 0 Hour, the first in a trilogy, under the pen name T. M. Carpenter, which can be found on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And as always, I hope you'll consider reading it. Now on to part 3 of what in the world is going on. We are facing an ever-ballooning worldwide population, growing pollution, resource depletion, a growing gap between the rich and the poor, and climate change, whether man-made or natural, all while various strains of violent religious extremism invades our home via the news and our lives out on the streets. Some religious sects believe they are helping to usher in the end times, and their actions are targeted at doing just that. We can surely sense a train is headed our way, and it will be up to us to avoid, or at the very least, prepare for the impact. Yet we have, in fact, been here many times before. These challenges, as already mentioned, come around in cycles. They always have. It is how we react to these crises and challenges that will determine what happens next. Even if you are a believer in the end times, it is simply the start of another cycle, not an immediate end. So what we believe and what we do is critically important. Time throughout history, at least thus far, has not been linear. It has always been cyclical. That's why what goes around comes around. There is, in fact, nothing new under the sun. Time doesn't end, it begins a new cycle, and we determine, with our actions and beliefs, where the next cycle takes us. Whether you believe in God or not, that has so far been the history of mankind. There has never been an end to these cycles, but that doesn't mean there won't one day be an end. So where am I going with all this? Here's the overarching message I want to deliver, and the message my book, Higher Ground, 0 Hour, tries to convey. Prepare, get ready, be in a position to take care of your family and friends, ensure you can help others in your community, be vigilant, remember what America stands for, or once stood for, and can stand for again. Don't expect the government to be able to provide for everyone in a time of catastrophic crisis. This country is not our enemy, it is our home. The government is not our enemy. The government is meant to represent us, to protect the country and from foreign invaders and protect our freedom and liberties, religious and otherwise. Its powers come from us and the Constitution. If we have to rise up and oppose crooked, bought and paid for politicians and leaders, history shows we will. Bad people with bad intentions, or even evil intentions, are our enemy. Sometimes bad people with those attributes can get into positions of authority and power. Some start off with good intentions, yet the system and power quickly corrupts them. There are many people like that, but they are not the majority. They are the exception, even though it seems just the opposite at times. The real problem is, bad or evil people can get scores of other folks to follow them, either because the masses don't critically evaluate a person's true character and motives, or because they mistake confidence, hubris, pride, bluster, and good marketing for leadership, character, ethics, and integrity. As Americans, we need to be aware that pandemics, the collapse of our electrical grid from a cyber attack, an EMP strike, read the book Lights Out by Ted Koppel, solar flare, or even an earthquake and other natural disasters could bring our infrastructure to its knees. That would put you, your family, friends, and your community at risk, and in a position to work together or to turn on each other. Please do the research for yourself. Then I hope you'll take small steps to prepare, just in case. You don't need to turn your life upside down or inside out. You just need to pay attention to the signs. Listen and learn. Then make up your own mind. For instance, if you don't think climate change will have major impacts on the planet in the coming years, both in predictable and unpredictable ways, that's your right. You can choose to do nothing. Panic will be the typical response to some of the challenges that are coming our way. However, I don't believe my book is prophetic. It's possible that nothing like what I describe will ever happen. But if history is any indication of what's to come, I wouldn't bet against it, or something like it, whether natural or through some kind of human manipulation. Preparation is the best antidote. You won't be able to help others if you can't even help yourself. Fear is not the proper response. Courage in the face of uncertainty is our best weapon. Decency and kindness can only thrive when we fight for and with each other. A major crisis could lead to a huge step backwards for our country and the entire planet, or inspire a huge step forward. It will depend upon our reactions, and our reactions will depend upon our beliefs and our ability to grasp reality and turn toward one another as opposed to turning on each other. We are all in this together, and our fate may not be in our hands, but our destiny is. If you decide to read my book, I hope you find it thought-provoking, educational, entertaining, and helpful as you consider even small steps you may be able to take to prepare for any event that could quickly change life as we know it. Working together, we'll always have a chance to overcome, survive, and even thrive through any crisis. Thanks again, and this is T.M. Carpenter, author of Higher Ground, 0 Hour. I greatly appreciate you listening.